I'm showing new leaders that I'm just now developing, and I'm showing them what I recommend. Having now been working the compensation plan, you know, when you see a compensation plan, especially when you see the thing from Fred, it's a blur. And then the 10th time you see it from Fred, it is still very, very fast. And I still didn't get it, and so I start working it. I just kind of said, you know, okay, it seems very, very good to me. But now that I've worked it for a while, and I see, you know, some of these if this happens, if that, where do I put this person? What about that person? What about this group? And then, you know, how is it all related? So I want to just share with you what I am telling my people, the new people, and so I just thought that I would share it with you. And I'll give it to you just on a slide here, and then I'm going to see if I can't shift over into a graphics program and do some sketching for you, just so that it's perfectly clear. And so if it was written out, I would say build 2 income positions, and then lock in, and the reason you're doing that is so that you make sure you lock in your matching bonus. And so in other words, in order to earn 7 levels deep on matching bonus, you need 2 income positions. And then build a 3rd position, or put 3rd position in and go wide under it. All right, now I'm going to give you an alternative in just a second. Okay, so what it is that when I'm talking to people, they'll say, you know, how do I make $1 million a year? And so let me show that to you. If this right here is U1, meaning you, income position 1, and this right here is you, income position 2, okay? And so what I recommend that you do is this would be your power line, and then this would be your pay line. You optimize that. That's number 1, okay? So what that does is that guarantees you making $100,000 a year. That's first and foremost, get it done and move on. Put your 2nd income position underneath your pay line, and then there's that power line, and then here's this pay line. And once you get it built, go wide. All right? And what that means is that here's number 1, here's number 2, here's number 3, here's number 4, and then this one right here would be number 5. 5 income positions equals $1 million a year. All right, I said that wrong. 5 pay lines. And so, you know, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. So 5 income pay lines is going to make you $1 million a year. All right? And so now I'll go over and I'll sketch that out for you. So what that looks like is that if this is your power line here, and so it's going to run, and then this is going to be your pay line. Now let me just talk to you a little bit about some of the noise that you hear as soon as somebody comes in the business and how I actually handle it. And so what happens is that they'll start talking to me about their team or their person, or, you know, where do I put this person? And, you know, it's really, really confusing because we're calling something a power line before it's built, right? And we don't know it's going to be a power line. And so I have listened to the noise of this thing so many times that it now it giggles me. It cracks me up because I remember having the same questions when I first came in. And every bit of advice that I got from Mark and Fred and Jeff and Riley and then Steve and I would try to figure out what it would look like, and you know, none of it has worked out. In other words, here's what you do. You start, you put somebody here, you put somebody here, you put somebody here, you put somebody here, this guy starts running, and you say, sweet, and so you start building like that. So in other words, what I'm trying to tell you is that you can plan and plan and plan. This person's so incredibly capable. Back in 1942, they were able to build a company, you know, half of Amway. And, you know, well, that guy doesn't do anything. Or some, in other words, I'm trying to tell you is that if you try to create this sacred zone out here that that you can just pop in these beastie leaders. I'm not seeing it. It just sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. And when you sit there and you waste an enormous amount of time and concern and everything else, I just say start building. That's my advice to you, because you really don't know who these people are. If there's a real big chance, okay, good. Try to put them on another leg. But if they don't work out, then you put a competing leg there, and now you're going to be running from one side to another instead of always working in one or two organizations. Lock in your $100,000 a year income by just like you go and you just keep building one-on-one, one side one, okay, so if they're family members, put them in the same one or whatever. But you just keep on going one-to-one until one outruns the other side. And then you just play this back-and-forth game, right, until it optimizes, right? So that should help you. I know that, it's the most important thing in the world when you're talking to the people, but my experience so far is that the longer that I spend there, the longer time they will spend in trying to figure this thing out. And my experience so far is that none of that time has been worth it. Okay, so you have a power line and a pay line, okay? And so as you build this and then it optimizes, this one should have started running a little bit faster there. And so you end up working here until finally it optimizes, and you get that $18,000 or 13,334 points in volume there, and now you've locked in that $2,000 a week. So what you now want to do is take your income position that they give you, put it there, and then guess what? Put one on the left, one on the right, one on the left, one on the right. Okay, you can start off with one on the left, one on the power, right? And so if you really, but you don't know what one is. So that's the reason I do it this way. And so when one starts running a little bit faster, I say, okay, good. And so this here is going to end up being my pay. And so when that one has optimized, here is where you start building new pay lines. Okay? And if you're wondering how I did the math on that, you would have basically 5 lines that you're being paid $2,000 a week on. And then you have roughly in the neighborhood of about $6,000 a week in bonuses. And then about $3,000 a week in matching. Oops, TCH. And then and you're going to be making about $2,000 a month, not week, in a luxury bonus. So the $6,000 a week here are your pay line bonuses and your income position bonuses. And so that's where that math comes out of. And it comes out to somewhere in the neighborhood of about $1.2 million a year. But in terms of the strategy of the way that I'm doing it here, where I will come down here and build this way, is because what we're ending up doing here is that we are creating, if this is the power, then what we end up doing here is creating incredible strength and ensuring. So if we locked in an income position, what we really want to do is lock in an income position. And by putting 4 lines there, or 3 lines there, then you're definitely locking that in. And so so that's the strategy that of how to make $1 million a year, and it's what I'm kind of sharing with people. There's a little bit of confliction, just so that you know, with getting the 4 lines when you come in and you get an elite pack, and so you have 4 lines. And this is a conversation that I have with people who are real leaders, and I normally say that all of the kind of the spare volume, if you will, and that would be customers or whatever, all that spare volume is going to be put into your auto balanced over into your other pay lines that came off of there. And so if you have, and anybody who wants to do the campaign once it launches, anybody who wants to do the 3X campaign, my wife is working on one called Healthy Moms Fat Loss, which is basically taking my camouflage version of the thing and painting it pink. Not really the colors, by the way, but you know, and so she's doing it in that category, and it'll be very much a customer acquisition and you know, programmed that way. So any volume that you get like that, then you're going to be compensated really, really well in the auto balancing world for doing that, and that volume will spill over there.